Hello, let's talk about impossible today, and as you can easily understand, it's about fitting NuTubes to the amplification module for the iBasso DX300 and 320. Yep, despite being discontinued, DX300 can also use this amplification module, and even in the past when iBasso fit Korg NuTubes into their AMP13 for previous generation of their players, it was already an achievement, but new amplification modules is even slicker and slimmer, so they had to do even bigger work. So let's have a closer look at this masterpiece of engineering. Price is about $270, and actually that's probably all I can say. The rest I will tell you by the review. So, package is pretty big for the amplification module. As you can see, iBasso tries to make a premium feel. Inside of the box you'll get storage case. Actually, after installation of this module you can use it for some earphones. You'll get some spare screws just in case, and you'll get a screwdriver for the installation. And inside here is amplification module itself. So, anti-static bag, yep, and as a bonus accessory, nice, I turned from the iBasso side to add some bonus accessories. As a bonus accessory, you'll get a silicone case for the player. If you don't like the leather one provided with player, you can use this. And here is player, of course, amplification module itself. And here is its rear side. As you can see, it's packed with different components, but front side is even more exciting. Here is NuTube itself, some capacitors and so on. There are two outputs. One is for sensitive earphones with lower level of amplification, slightly above 2 volts RMS. And the second one is for headphones and earphones that require more power. It delivers about 4 volts RMS. So you can get a pretty low level of background noise or slightly more amplification. This module is single-ended only, but it's pretty expectable. It would be probably almost impossible to fit 2 NuTubes inside of this space. Installation is pretty simple. I won't demonstrate it now. I did it for the previous replaceable amplifier. You just remove these 2 screws, do it carefully under well-lit condition, and don't forget to turn off the power. Remove these 2 screws, then you can pull out this amplifier PCB and install a new one. It's pretty simple and doable pretty well. So I already installed AMP13, and actually we can admire and see that stock version of amplifier is also pretty complicated and has a lot of interesting ideas, but it's not a subject of our talk today. Here how it looks in the player, and as you can see, iBasso were thinking ahead, and they added a small window, and through this window you can enjoy the light of these tubes. They are almost invisible under my studio light, but in general you can see that they are glowing somewhere deep inside of the player. Of course, you're losing a bit of portability here, because I mean battery lifetime, because with this model you can get roughly about 7 to 8 hours. Usually closer to 7, probably because NuTube consumes some energy, but at the same time, of course, you're getting totally different sound, and it does what you can expect from tubes. It makes sound softer, it reduces amount of details, but at the same time it highlights harmonics, making everything more emotional, more sweet and more velvety. And you know, it's a great contrast compared to stock DX300 and 320 amplifiers. Bass became bit warmer, it getting slightly highlighted nuances and overtones, so it makes a step from absolute naturalness towards more engaging sound signature, losing a bit of details and speed, but at the same time getting a bit of comfort and velvet warmth. Mids became more emotional with more boosted dynamics, and stage became smaller, more intimate, but at the same time you'll get vocals more pushed forward, and in many cases, especially with good live vocal performance, it gives you nice results. For example, I like how it sounds with James Brown live at the Apollo, or for example with this track that I used as an example in my previous review. Also it benefits a bit from the highlighted emotions and boosted smoothness, and it's definitely not the solution for those who like audiophilic, natural, technical performance, but probably it's something that everyone can expect. But at the same time, it's pretty enjoyable representation that will caress you on the waves of sound. Treble became less extended and less layered, more comfortable, but at the same time it remains pretty detailed, so it definitely won't be super softened type of treble that is typical for some tube solutions. Mainly I think because here iBasso implemented a really sophisticated hybrid amplification schema where tubes adding their coloration, but also there are another amplifiers in this circuit that does heavy lifting for that, and you're getting nice amount of treble to not over soften or overshadowed or somewhere like that, because of that it doesn't sound muffled or super veiled. Another surprising thing that here is that background noise is really low, especially if you will use low power output, and I think it's another great achievement from the iBasso engineers, another example of great work and thinking ahead. Well, I'm saying a lot of good words about iBasso, but they deserve it definitely this time, because it's an impressive amount of work is done here. And there is a slight microphonic effect for the tubes when you just insert the jack, but it goes away after a few seconds. And actually, even on the street, in the portable usage, you won't get it. We won't get this effect, so they dampened tube properly, and this unlikely will be an issue. And actually, probably that's all I wanted to say about this amplification module. It's really good to have it as a second module. It's a great idea that stock one is absolutely natural and monitoring, but second one offers an absolutely different, drastically different representation, and you can swap them one to another and you won't get dull and you won't get bored with sound. When you get bored, you can try another one, spend few days with it, then swap back. So nice, enjoying way of spending money for audiophilia. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a nice day.